when you pass through the waters, I don't know why y'all aren't more excited. I will be with you. And the rivers will not, have you ever been overwhelmed?
Yes, sir.
And the rivers will not overwhelm you when you walk through the fire. It's funny, as I read this, I think of an old saying, come hell or high water. And God is essentially telling his people, come hell or high water, I got you. He says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and the rivers will not overwhelm you. In other words, you will not drown in your situation. When you walk through the fire, you will not be scorched. In other words, you won't smell like smoke. Come here, 3 Hebrew boys. And the flame will not burn you. I'm trying to just get out of this text because this ain't even my message, but it's just messing with me. So I'll go into my opening statements. I hate having car troubles. Nothing irks my nerves more than having car troubles. Somebody asked me why. Why? The reason I don't like car troubles is because I'm not a mechanic. And because I'm not a mechanic, when I have car troubles, it costs me money. And when I have car troubles that cost me money, they usually don't cost me a little bit of money. They cost me a lot of bit of money. I hate having car troubles. But I recall a time shortly after getting my newer car that I have. And shortly after getting it, it started to do some weird things. Now, the car was in great shape. It was a 2014. I got it in 2016, but it was in great shape. The mileage was low. They had barely even tapped into the car's potential. The car was amazing. I was sold on it instantly. When they pulled it around, I knew that me and this car would have a great relationship. But the car started to have some issues shortly after I got it. And immediately I started to panic. Immediately I got scared because not necessarily the issue. I was fearful for my bank account because I knew that car issues for me often cost a lot of money. And so I dreaded picking up the phone to call these people to let them know my car was tripping. But I called them and I let them know, hey, my car is doing something weird. And I told them exactly what the car was doing. And the guy on the other line said, wait 1 minute, let me check something. He placed me on hold, and they had some rather interesting hold music. It was some smooth jazz, and I don't know about you, but I enjoy some smooth jazz, so it kind of put me at ease just a little bit because I was freaking out on the other end of the line because I was thinking of all the zeros that I was about to lose out of my bank account. But the gentleman comes back to the phone, and he says, Mr. Goodman, are you there? I said, yes, sir, I'm here. I don't want to be, but yes, I am still here. He said, Mr. Goodman, I got some good news for you. I said, thank you, Jesus. I need some good news because this car is stressing me out. He said, well, you don't have to stress. I need you to know that the issue that you're calling about, your car has a warranty for that. Y'all must have never had car troubles. And he said, Mr. Goodman, I got good news. Your car has a warranty. I said, well, I think I know what that means, but humor me, sir. What do you mean my car has a warranty? He says, well, the manufacturer of the car noticed this issue had the potential to rise in your car. And after they put the car on the market and they found this issue, they sent a warranty out. Now, because you're not the original owner, you didn't receive it. But even though you didn't receive it, we still have it documented. And so they saw this issue had the potential to happen. And since the issue has happened to you, we are going to honor this warranty. In other words, the manufacturer gave us his word that he would cover the expenses for this issue, that you don't have to pay for what you're going through. The manufacturer has taken care of it. Mr. Goodman, bring your car down to the lot. And when you bring your car down to the lot, you don't have to sit here and wait. We're going to send you home in something else while we work out what you've been dealing with. How much is the rental going to cost me? Mr. Goodman, the rental ain't going to cost you nothing. Well, sir, why is the rental not going to cost me nothing? Because the manufacturer has taken care of it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
When I started that journey, my swagger wasn't quite right. But when I found out I had a warranty, my swagger was different.
Come on now.
See, normally I walk into the car dealership with my head hung low. Normally I walk in the car dealership gripping my credit card really tight. Normally I walk into the car dealership and I'm praying every Hail Mary I can think of. Normally when I walk in the car dealership, my heart is heavy. But when I walked in this time, I walked in with my head held high. When I walked in this time, I was brushing dirt off my shoulders, just feeling real good. When I walked in this time, I had a confidence about me. I was confident because I was walking like I had a warranty. And if I were to give today's sermon a title, it would simply be that. I didn't even know the screen had switched on me. But if I were to give today's sermon a title, I guess the Lord really got me. Our sermon title would be Walk Like You Have a Warranty. We have just walked into a new year, and I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the phone calls and the text messages and the social media posts that I've been seeing are those of people who are afraid. I've received calls from people who were afraid regarding how they were going to take care of a matter. I've received text messages from people who are afraid of what this new year might bring for them. I've seen social media posts of people who are afraid of these new variants of COVID-19, Omicron, what's the new one? Flu-rona. People are afraid of what this year brings, and I'm reading the text and I'm wondering to myself and repenting at the same time, God, why aren't we walking like people with a warranty? Yes. And no, I'm not talking about the warranty that's in your glove compartment. I'm not talking about the warranty that's in the back of your manufacturer's reference guide. I'm not talking about the warranty that you have online or on file with the dealership. I'm talking about the warranty that is found in the 66 books we call the Holy Bible. That the believer has a warranty that is better than any warranty this world can bring about. We should be walking like a people with a warranty. I need you to declare this morning in 2022. I need you to declare this morning in 2022.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I need you to declare this morning in 2022, yes, which means I want you to say in 2022, I'm walking like I got a warranty. I was hoping y'all would catch it. I'm going to walk like I got a warranty. This morning, I want to give you 3 reasons we can walk in godly confidence. 3 reasons, if you're taking notes, that we can walk in godly confidence. Please put that as the header of your notes. I need you to take notes because I need you to be able to refer back to the moment you got your swagger back. In 2022, I want you to be able to go back, look in your notes and mark that today was the day I began to walk in godly confidence. 3 reasons we can walk in godly confidence as we look at the text. Now, before we jump into the text, I'm going to give you just a little background on it so we can have some context to today's text. How did we actually get here? Well, to answer that question, you actually have to go back to chapter 42. See, 43 is great because we see this good news here, but before you get to 43, you got to wrestle with 42. And in 42, God, as only he could, is talking smack to his people. God literally tells his people, y'all are blind and y'all are deaf. My God, your God, told his people, you are blind and you are deaf. You are blind because I've shown you all of this. You are deaf because I told you all of this, but you still chose exile over me. He says you're blind and you're deaf. You have put yourself in a situation that you cannot get yourself out of. And how many people here today can be honest? There are some things that I've put myself in that I should not have been in. There are some situations that I've walked into that I could not walk myself out of. There are some problems that I've run to that I could not run away from. But we serve a God that even when I put myself in a precarious predicament, grace and mercy follow me all the days of my life. God says, y'all are blind and y'all are deaf because I've shown you things that I could only show you. And I've said to you things that only I could say to you. I've made you promises that only I can fulfill. I've laid out doors for you to go through that you refuse to walk through. Y'all are blind and deaf. You've got yourself in a situation that you cannot get yourself out of. But then there's a but. There's a but. It literally opens up the next the next verse or the next chapter. He says, now. Now, the reason he's starting off verse 1 with now is because we just dealt with then. He says, I know you messed up. I know you made mistakes. I know you did this to yourself. In the words of DJ Khaled, I know you played yourself. I know you let the devil use you. I know you got stuck in something you should have never been in. I know you let them treat you and talk to you and call you everything but a child of God. I know you got entangled in entanglements. I know all these things happen, but now. But now. But now, 3 reasons you can walk in godly confidence. The first reason we can walk in godly confidence is because God paid the cost. Yes. God paid the cost. Oh, okay. See, I'm going to tell you why that messes some of y'all up, because y'all used to paying for everything. Yeah, you so used to paying for everything that you can't get excited when somebody pays for something for you. I said the first reason we can walk in godly confidence is because God has paid the cost for the confidence I walk in. See, y'all think I walk confidently because I got education. You think I walk confident because of family relation. You think I walk confident because of occupation. But no. I walk in godly confidence because God paid the cost for the confidence I walk in. He says, now, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. He says, I've redeemed you. Now, the reason we don't get excited about that word redeem is because we don't know what the word redeem means. Can I tell you what redeem means? See, I'm not going to give you the Merriam-Webster. I'm going to go to the original language. These Israelites spoke a beautiful language called Hebrew, which is a very picturesque language. And the word for the Hebrew word for redeemed is the word gawal. Somebody say gawal. Gawal. You are officially a Hebrew scholar. Gawal. That word gawal, can I tell you what it means? The first definition of this word gawal is to buy back from exile. Okay. So what God is saying here is you can walk in godly confidence because I have bought you back from exile. Okay, in other words, God is saying, I have paid the cost for your freedom. The reason I can walk in confidence, even though y'all try to bind me, is because God has already posted my bail. God has already paid the cost for my freedom. Now, some of y'all can't really appreciate that because you ain't never been in no legal trouble. You've never faced the possibility of dealing with a public defendant who really ain't defending nothing. You've never faced the possibility of spending life or any time in jail. But if you've ever been in the judicial system, there is nothing more beautiful than that 4-letter word called bail. Because what bail means is that there is a monetary deposit that can be put down for your freedom. In other words, you can leave the cell that you are in because somebody paid the cost of your imprisonment and sent you home. God says you can walk in confidence even though the enemy is trying to bind you because I've already paid the cost required for your freedom. So in other words, God is saying that you don't have to be scared to be free. Now, some of you are saying, Pastor Mike, that don't make sense. Well, why would anybody be scared to be free? But I'm going to be honest with you on this morning. There are many believers who are scared to walk in the freedom that God has paid for them. Trust me, I get many phone calls, many text messages, see many folks, pass by many folks who claim whom the Son set free is free indeed. But the truth of the matter is they're still wrestling and bound in what has always binded them. Why would we be scared to be free? I'm going to tell you why we're scared to be free, because for some of us, our imprisonment, we've been in it so long that it should be abnormal, but we've accepted it as our normal. We don't know what freedom is, and we've been bound so long that we're scared to not be bound. Yeah, some folks have taken an uncomfortable situation and have found comfort in it because they did not believe they could come out of it. I will just accept this relationship because I don't believe it will get any better. I will just accept my circumstances because I don't believe they can get any better. I will just accept this group of friends because I don't believe I can be treated better. I will just accept this job because I don't believe anyone can pay me more money. I will just accept what I accept because I don't believe there's better. But God is saying this morning, baby, you don't have to be scared to be free, because I paid the cost for your freedom. And I want to warn somebody on this morning, stop turning God's bail money into book money.
What? Wait a minute.
Stop turning God's bail money into book money. Okay, some of y'all don't know what I mean because you don't have a cousin that's incarcerated. But when you ever had a family member that's been incarcerated, they have this thing called putting money on the books. When you put money on the books, what you are attempting to do is make an uncomfortable situation comfortable for the person who's bad. So when you put money on their books, what you're doing is saying, I know you're going to be in there for a while. And so I'm going to put some money down to make sure you can be a little more comfortable in the uncomfortable situation. And God is saying on this morning, baby, stop turning my bail money into book money. You ain't supposed to be in there that long. I paid for you to be free. Why you still letting them bind you in unforgiveness? Baby, I paid the cost for that. Why you allowing them to bind you by your past? I paid the cost for that. Why you letting them bind you by your mistakes? I paid the cost for that. Why you letting them hold you captive? I paid the cost for that. Stop turning my bail money into book money. The reason I can walk in godly confidence is because God has paid the cost. In other words, he has paid what's required to get me out of exile. That I don't have to stay in this situation, and I don't have to let people bind me by my past, bind me by my mistakes, bind me by my issues, because God has paid the cost for me to be free. Somebody say, I don't owe them nothing.
I don't owe them nothing.
I don't owe you nothing. And I want to warn somebody on today, stop letting people make you pay for what he's already paid for. See, many of us, the reason I say we're scared to be free, because we still have this sense of entitlement to somebody. Because I hurt you, and now I'm going to be a prisoner to your emotions. The devil is a lie. Baby, I apologize. Baby, I did something nice for you. Baby, I even turned around. If you still going to try to hold that over me, then baby, that's between you and God. Listen, he charged my debt to his debit card, and so I'm not going to let you charge it to mine. He paid the cost. He bought me back from exile, which means, watch this, he paid my enemy the cost for me. Stop letting your enemies charge you for what God has charged off. God has already made the necessary arrangement to pull you out of that situation, but it got better though. As Mother Dawson would say, it gets gooder and gooder. God paid the cost. That word gawal in the Hebrew doesn't just mean to buy back from exile. It also means to avenge. So what God is saying is, you can walk in godly confidence because I've already avenged the situation. Okay, some of y'all can't celebrate that because you don't know what it means to avenge. There is this movie by Marvel called The Avengers. The Avengers essentially operate this way. An enemy comes and attacks the earth, and the earth can't defend itself. And since the earth can't defend itself from the danger and the damage that's being done to the earth, the Avengers come to make right what's been made wrong. I'm going to say that again. The way the Avengers work is that the earth is attacked by an enemy, but the earth can't fight back the enemy that's inflicting damage on the earth. And since the earth can't defend itself against the enemy that's inflicting damage on it, a group called the Avengers comes in and they make right what was made wrong. What am I saying? God is saying you can walk in godly confidence because no matter what's gone wrong in your life, we have an avenger, not Thor. We have an avenger, not the Hulk. We have an avenger, not Spider-Man. We have an avenger, not Hawkeye. We have an avenger, not Black Widow. We have an avenger, not Iron Man. But we have an avenger named God. And God can make right what's been made wrong.